Hi, I'm Heather Clancy in the Green Biz studio with Louis Stewart, the Chief Innovation Officer of the City of Sacramento. Welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Okay, I have to ask.
Absolutely.
I have seen a lot of C titles. Haven't seen this one yet. So Chief Information Officer, I'm very familiar with.
Right.
Chief Innovation Officer, what's your role and what's top of mind for you right now?
So my role is kind of a change agent. So you step into a municipality and you start looking at infrastructure, you start looking at workforce development, you start looking at just kind of some of the processes in and around the city and seeing what you can bring to take the city to the next level. So part of that right now for me is how do you get Sacramento to be a destination city?
So infrastructure.
Physical,
technological, like what digital? I mean, what is it all of the above? Or?
It's all of the above. So it's roads and lights, it's technology, inclusivity, it's even just lighting up City Hall so that City Hall is a demonstration site for innovators and entrepreneurs to be able to show the viability of their products and services.
You're here talking about transportation strategy this week. What is your primary concern right now when it comes to electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles? It's a big buzz throughout the valley, Silicon Valley, we're in the valley.
Right.
Sacramento, what's your view on this?
So look, mobility is at the baseline for all economic development in any city around the world. If you can't get people to places, they can't work. They can't be productive members of society. So talking about transportation is foundational to economic development, whether it be underrepresented communities, whether it be kids getting to school and learning, even on the healthcare side. If you can't show up to an appointment, the hospital loses money, you don't get the care that you need. So mobility and transportation is key.
How can Sacramento use these new technologies, these new transportation technologies to build new services, to build new economic opportunities? Are there specific things you're looking at?
So one, we're trying to change the narrative around Sacramento from a government town to what's called the Sacramento Urban Technology Lab, where we actually light up all 8 districts in the city and try to figure out what use cases we can connect people to in order to get K through 12 involved in technology, in order to look at dislocated workers and get them involved in what's coming. So if they're technicians, how do they start working on autonomous cars? Where's the education coming from? Working with university partners to get them involved as workforce incentive partners so they can actually show up and talk to companies and make sure that the companies understand that they're producing a workforce that they need. And also looking at the kind of student population and saying you should stay in Sacramento because there's a future here for you.
Okay. And how much is the private sector involved in this right now? And how much more do you need them to be involved?
Look, public-private partnerships I think are key. And I know that's a buzzword that people heard 80s, 90s, early 2000s. But right now, I think you have the right time for a lot of those conversations to actually take place. So I understand that a lot of private sector companies are kind of on the sidelines trying to see where regulation ends up. But this is actually an appropriate time to come sit down and actually have conversations with the city of San Jose, with Sacramento, with Los Angeles, and help jointly create what the regulations should be for your technology, for your service. Because I think you'll find that there's an audience and an appetite for what's being offered these days.
How much is the concept of equity and inclusiveness part of in particular, the new transportation vision for the Sacramento area, if you will, the Sacramento region?
Sure. I think if we're trying to get into the tech conversation that you have here in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley, we only have a limited workforce that can address that currently. If we're able to equitably start including people into the innovation ecosystem, so from underrepresented parts of Sacramento, and bring them into the workforce, we can actually multiply our workforce at least by half, almost instantaneously, if we put the programming and services around them as well that actually catches them up to speed on time. So equity is kind of at the core, right next to mobility, as far as getting people to jobs, getting people home, getting people to healthcare, getting people to their just general services, but also being able to showcase what a diverse and dynamic city Sacramento is.
So you're main priority for next week or from 3 months from now?
Sure.
What is it you really need to focus on first in this innovation role to make the progress and change you want to see?
So look, for me as a Chief Innovation Officer, it's all about relationships. If I don't have the relationships I need to bring the resources to bear, there's no success that can be had. So it's working with the mayor and working with city manager in Sacramento to get them on board with some of the ideas and concepts I come up with, but then pulling in some of the relationships and resources that I have over years of experience so that we can actually have real conversations in Sacramento, not, please look at us, we're Sacramento. We're actually in the game.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to work.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Absolutely.
And thanks for watching.